Hi, and welcome to another episode slash installment slash whatever video of Dream Girl Trucking, or at least the Dream Girl Trucking channel, because I don't consider myself anybody's dream girl. The title is just for people who have a dream, whether they're a guy or a girl, no matter what age they are. If trucking is your dream, or if trucking is getting you to realize your dream, you're working on your dream, if getting out of trucking is your dream. And of course, this is going to be another terrible video because I never know where to look. So I'm always looking off into outer space. So, I also haven't taken the time to figure out how to edit anything, so it's just me thrown out there. But today, or really, as you can tell, tonight, I want to read something really important to you that I got in an email, and it's like this link of a whole bunch of news stories for truck drivers. And this is really exciting to me because the headline is legislation provides tax credits, training, and grants for drivers and parking funds. Well, especially parking funds, we can all agree on. And when I'm in my truck, I'm listening to my radio, my CB or whatever, people are talking and they're like griping and saying, well, what can we do about it? Well, somebody always says strike. Well, I usually key up and say, we can't strike because there's so many megas now that they'll just keep on running and hauling. And not every owner operator can afford to strike. People have truck payments, they have house payments, and stuff like that. I don't know how all those other people were able to go on strike this last year because I sure couldn't do it. Well, so anyway, striking, I think that's a thing of the past, and I don't think that we can really even consider that as a power play ever again. But fortunately, we do still live in a country where we can contact our representative and at least tell them that we are supporting this bill. Now, there is a really great video on YouTube. It used to come on Saturday morning commercials when I was a kid, and it's called Schoolhouse Rock. And the particular episode that I think everybody should watch is called I'm Just a Bill. And it tells about what happens to a bill. So if you or I say we would like it to be the law that everybody got to have a free a hand implanted on their arm, courtesy of the government, because who can't use an extra hand? And so what we would do is we would contact our representative and say, hey, do you know anybody who can write this bill? Or we have found a lawyer who's written this bill, and will you sponsor it? And he says yes. And then you and he get together for lunch, chit chat, whatever. Paid lobbyists, we're all familiar with those people. They go around and they tell people, hey, there's this great bill about getting an extra hand, and who couldn't use an extra hand, and everybody's your voters, your constituents, they're all going to want this, and you need to get behind this bill. And so sometimes bills will get a whole bunch of sponsors, and sometimes they'll just get one or two, well, two or three, not very many. Usually they try to get one Democrat and one Republican. And so you get the bill written, and it goes to committee, which is like a little storage box for bills that have not been voted into law. Well, if you could get enough support for it, it moves out of committee and onto the floor for a vote. First to the House, and then if it passes there, over to the Senate. And then if it passes there, long story short, it goes to the governor's desk or the president's desk, and he either signs it into law or he vetoes it. So this is a really great deal, and I don't want it to die in committee, and I know y'all don't either. So let me read to you what this is about. U.S. Representatives Dusty Johnson, a Republican from South Dakota, and Jim Costa, a Democrat from California, introduced what the two are calling a sweeping overhaul of the interstate trucking supply chain system, and it's called the Safer Highways and Increased Performance for Interstate Trucking. Ship It. That's what it's called. They like the Ship It Act. They like to give these things an easy to remember bill because, it's like a disease, these names. So what you say is, we want you to support, this Ship It bill. And if you know the bill number, which I don't know if this has it or not, it's usually like HR for House of Representatives or S321 or something like that. Anyway, but you name the bill and you tell them that's what you want them to sponsor or to vote for. Just let them know that you support it. It says, increases safety and shipping capacity for truckers, provides recruitment and retention incentives for drivers, and includes flexibility during times of emergencies or black swan events. Okay. A key provision of the bill is a temporary $7,500 tax credit for eligible truck drivers who logged at least 1,900 hours of on-duty time and whose adjusted gross income for the taxable year does not exceed $135,000 jointly, $112,500 as head of household, or $90,000 individually. Now, I know that's not everybody, but that's a lot of people, so, that's a good thing. New drivers, defined as someone who did not drive a commercial truck in the course of a trade or business during the preceding taxable year, are eligible for a $10,000 tax credit, which that's just awesome. It also allows drivers to apply for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grants for tuition, fees, and other costs of entry-level driver training provided by a FMCSA registered trainer. Let's see here. The grant can be extended to include other education and training costs, including the cost of course materials, supplies, technology, and fees for graduation, licensure, or certification. Now, here's a good part. Also included in the bill is $755 million over the next 4 years to expand truck parking. Now, I know that's not a lot, but it's better than nothing, and we need every little bit of help out here that we can get, because I don't know about you guys, but this is me looking off into the sky for a parking space. Yeah, because, I get, especially driving a reefer, I get stuck out here at all hours of the night. I know y'all have too. We can't all be driving solar-powered trucks. And, in these states where we can't park on the side of on the access ramps, and we can't park in the way stations, and the rest areas are full, and the truck stops are, of course, full. And what are we supposed to do? Just disappear? Okay. The two congressmen said their bill streamlines the CDL process, making it easier for states and third parties to administer CDL tests. Disruptions in our trucking supply chain continue to drive up costs and create uncertainty, because we all know that it's not a government conspiracy setting all the food warehouses on fire and poisoning all the chicken feed so they can't lay eggs. Courtesy of Bill Gates. Yes, I just read everything online. Let's see here. We need to recruit, train, and retain truck drivers to keep our supply chain moving. Well, you know what? You know who they need to train to do that, to fix that? It is not us. It's the people we work for, because they are straight up, most of them are just really jerks. I was just reading a story about a lady. She had just went to work for KLLM, and she had a stroke. And what did they do? They took her off of her insurance, and and she read her contract, and it said you go off your insurance and they won't guarantee you a job when you come back to work. And what is that saying? Ain't that a kick in the pants? Yeah, so, just some of the things that they do to us out here, and like the first time that I got pulled over, and I was out here for, I was out here for less than 6 months, because I just worked for this one guy for 6 months when I first got out here. I want to stay for at least 6 months, and then move on. Maybe that was a mistake on my part, But that guy didn't fix his trucks. I mean, he took off the plexiglass from the control panel, put black electrical tape over the string of red dash lights that were on, showing stuff that was wrong, and put the plexiglass back on there. I got pulled over in Wisconsin. I got 8 tickets and put out of service. So, yeah, that's who they need to be talking to, is the way they treat us. And, and I don't think there's a driver shortage personally. I think that the thing is that it's like juggling, you can juggle 3 oranges, but you're only touching one of them at a time. I think I really need to watch juggling in slow motion so I can know what I'm talking about. But really, I mean, that's how it is. You got 2/3 of the oranges in the air, and, drivers all the time changing jobs, all the time. And I think that's where the trucking shortage myth stems from, is that there's a lot of drivers that are just in between jobs for a minute. That's all. So, I want you guys to, if you can, just Google your representative. If you know your zip code, you can find your representative online. And I'm really annoyed at myself looking at me looking somewhere else. It's like when you go to look in the mirror and you just can't find yourself in it. Anyway, so I really want you guys, you non-strikers out there who are like me, who will not strike and who realize that it's not going to do us any good, to contact your representatives and tell them that you want them to support this bill. Let's get busy and do something for ourselves. It's as easy as clicking contact me on the website and, sending a little 10 words of an email in there. So please make time to do that the next time that you stop. And I really appreciate your support and watching my videos. Thanks. Bye. Have a great day. And if you have any suggestions for how to make a really good video where you actually look into the camera, I'll be glad to listen. Oh, man. And how to gracefully exit without looking like this.